Lucia, land of the West, land of breeze, my little shall blessed, steep rising from the sea, and valley spreading verdantly, majestic peaks on Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauty sings. Distinguished men have graced thy past, their deeds of fame for thee amassed. May with thy newborn always be people prepare to honor thee, majestic Peter, Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. Wherever thy native children go, full harvest of goodwill they grow, created skills in arts and crafts, hush from their ingenious hearts, majestic Peter, Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. May wisdom guide our hearts and minds right in this land of hope and light, majestic Peter, Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. May with thy newborn always be people prepare to honor thee, majestic Peter, Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. Wherever thy native children go, full harvest of goodwill they grow, creative skills in arts and crafts, hush from their ingenious hearts, majestic Peter, Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. May wisdom guide our hearts and minds in carrying out progressive plans. May lead us always be upright in this land of hope and light, majestic Peter, Sulphur Springs, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things.
Indeed, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. A special good night to you, St. Lucia. A very beautiful, happy Easter to everyone, and a beautiful, happy Good Friday. Yes, we are almost through with Good Friday, but still have the Easter weekend to go. And I'm wishing all of you a special and beautiful, happy Easter. I don't know how many of us have paid so much attention to this song. And this program is basically about our beautiful island and beautiful things that are already in our beautiful island. As you heard the song, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. And beauteous things that we could bring about to our beautiful land in the future. St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. And I'm here. I brought about this initiative for such a program because I've been listening to radio all my life, and I don't think I've heard of such a program where the interest should be and focus should be all about our beautiful island. And its natural beauty is unsurpassed. There's none like it. But we need to keep it that way, to sustain it, to maintain that beauty and make it more beautiful. It is indeed naturally beautiful, but we also could make it infrastructurally beautiful and just make it a place that all of us would feel so proud about living and being here, and visitors alike. So the song says, St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. I remember growing up, I heard this song. I don't know at the time whether the St. Lucian people paid huge interest in the song. I heard it at the time when I was a youngster. Did I pay huge attention to it? No. The answer is no, I did not. I loved it. It was a nice song. We sung it at schools. When we were in school, we did sing it, especially on National Day and other days. But did you pay interest or attention to the song Champagne back then? No, I did not. Today, I could tell you it is one of the most beautiful local songs ever written and sung, based on its interests, based on what the song depicts, what's it all about. And I've said it before that I believe that our people should pay a little more attention to this song. Because if we did, we would act on some of the words of the song and make our beautiful island very much more beautiful. St. Lucia, land of beauteous things. I'm a St. Lucian and I'm doing my part to keep it that way, to make it more beautiful for myself, my family, children, friends, associates. Because one of these days I know for sure that I'm not going to be here anymore. Probably will be under the ground maybe, but I'm not going to be actively involved in the affairs of this beautiful land. So I'm trying my best to leave behind, something for our future generations that they could, or they too can enjoy this beautiful land that I have been enjoying for more than 60 years. It have had its challenges. Its life is not easy. It's very challenging. It's very difficult. But this land has provided me with some fun. It has provided me with enjoyment. And because of what it has done for me, it gave me birth. In return, I must do something for it. And what is that something? That something is to keep it beautiful, naturally and infrastructurally and other ways that is possible. So I'm here to bring you this program every Friday night. This Friday will be the last Friday that I am doing this program. I'm going to be moving the program to a Sunday night. So it's going to be next Sunday, not Easter Sunday. The next Sunday, I will change the program day from a Friday to a Sunday. I think this program is necessary because there are a lot of things that goes on in our country positively, and a lot of our people don't know about it. They don't hear about it. We hear all week long with the various talk shows, including mine, of negativity, back and forth, political problems, protest actions, crime and violence, only negativity that this country should not even be speaking about. But this is what we hear. And apparently it has become part of our culture because our people love it. And I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but based on my observation, it is very apparent that our people are loving it. When there's a homicide, people speak about it all day. People can't wait to get home, to turn on the TV, to listen to the news of a shooting, homicide, something negative. I mean, it's there in our faces. We can't escape it, but apparently people love to hear about it. Some people, that is. But our people are very, very engaged with, even a little more than the criminal activity, is politics. I've had my fair share. I'm involved. I'm not getting out of it. But our people love themselves so much politics, they have forgotten their beautiful island. And they don't care, some people. And if I'm offending anyone, I'm sorry, my apologies. Some people are fascinated, if that's a better choice of word to use, for politics. They love it. And they don't love the good aspects of it. They love the negativity, the controversial aspect of it. That's what they like. And they don't even realize that it's hurting this beautiful land. It's moving this land in reverse. But they don't care. Just out of love for a political party, they would take it down and don't care the consequences. Even them would be in a very consequential, but they don't care. They just love themselves in politics. And you'd have thought just after, and this program is not about drama and that kind of level of politics, but I had to speak about this tonight because this is our country. And this program is based on this country. We are killing it. If it is not already dead, we are killing it. And everyone has to defend his or her party, and this country is dying slowly if it's not already dead and no one is concerned. This is why I'm here, to let you know, to let all of us know how we in this country. Am I saying that the politics should stop? That's not what I'm saying. Politics will never go away. But in the midst of the politics, we need to stop at some point and say, hey, wait a minute. There's a country at risk. There is indeed a country at risk, and we are killing it. We certainly are killing this country with all of this drama, these controversial elements or activities that is going on every single day, and the country is at a standstill as a result. Now, there's a prime minister, current prime minister, that from my observations, I don't think he, and he should not, allow himself to be deterred or disturbed in preventing him from doing what he has to do in regards to moving this country forward. I think he is steadfast. I'm watching, because all of the noise and the controversy that is killing this country, there must be someone that has to forget about the noise and all of the back and forth, the controversy, and continue to try at least to move this country forward. And Mr. Prime Minister, you and your team, you're charged with this. The people of St. Lucia gave you this majority to do just that. The back and forth will be there. The malpali, the mépris, the noise. But at the end of the day, the politics will always be there. But this country has to try to move on. And this is what this program is called, Friday Night St. Lucia on the Move. It's going to be called Sunday Night St. Lucia on the Move. I just wanted to drop that in there because I think it is necessary. I don't even think that most of us are aware of how much hurt that we are putting on this country. Maybe I'm involved, Not now. I know that for sure. Maybe I was involved. I'm not trying to quit from anything. I'm not trying to take myself out. Maybe I was involved at some point because I too was involved with the back and forth with the politics. And I could say to you that throughout those years, I believe this country could have been way better ahead, if we were thinking just the way I'm thinking today. I'm not saying my thinking is the best, but I'm saying if we were focused and we were concentrated on this country by itself to move it forward, I think we'd be in a better place today. I just believe that in my heart. Are you asking the people, Champagne, to stop what they're doing? I think I am. I think I am asking them to focus and pay a little more attention on the development of the country where we live. Would you get that? I don't know, but I'm asking. I'm asking. I know a lot of people hate my guts. Why? Because of, my personal aspects of what I choose to do, not to hurt anyone, because of my love for this country, and I'm speaking in a particular voice or a particular tone. Some people may hate my guts. No, that's all right. They're entitled to their opinion. But before hating my guts based on what I'm saying, take a step back. Just think for a little bit and ask yourself, am I helping this country? This beautiful land that is too beautiful in my mind, very, very beautiful. It's the most beautiful island in the world. Ask yourself whether or not, am I helping it or am I hurting it? Now, certain people that are on the opposite side may not want to hear those words. It doesn't mean anything. Some people, I didn't say everybody, because their primary objective is to try to default the government, say things that would cause the government to crumble. And by that, they may have a chance to get back in. This is the nature. This is what politics is all about. People try to bring dirt on the governing party so that they can get in, build up a strong defense, to bring about confidence into the people that the government, the current one, I'm not just talking about this government, governments on the whole, to try to get the people to, turn against the government. The government is no good. They're raising taxes, do this, blah, blah, blah. And eventually they could bring about protest actions, because I'm seeing where this is going. I've been involved with these things. Sooner or later, with the current trend, you will have protest actions in St. Lucia. Mark my words. With the current trend, you will have protest actions. Before this year is done, you probably may have 2 or 3 in whatever department. Just mark my words. Because I'm seeing where this is going. The noises you're hearing, this is the pattern. This is just someone trying to set up themselves for protest actions. Why? Because people can handle the fact that the voice of the people is spoken, and they need to allow the government to work for the benefit of all. So, mark my word. I wanted to bring this in there because where this country is today, just outside of an election, and not outside, just 3-4 months after an elections where we saw a huge majority being handed over to the current government, the Labour Party. I'm not surprised with what is happening. I did it in 2021. The same morning of the elections, I was on the radio. And I was making all of the accusations myself. Am I contradicting myself? Absolutely not. I just told you I did it. So I know some people will try to do it as well, to see how much they could put the government under defense. It's the nature. Today, I'm in a different mood. And you may think, those of you on the other side may think, oh, Champagne is speaking in light of the government. I am speaking in light of St. Lucia. And if the government does positivity, brings about positivity to St. Lucia, I will speak. for the better good of St. Lucia. I don't want the government to fail. Why? Because they are the government. I don't want the government to fail. Why? Because they are the government. And if the government fails, the country fails and all of its citizens. I'd prefer the government to do well than for it to fail. But I know a lot of people would love it to fail. So there could be protest actions, and maybe the people now could turn their backs on the current government, and maybe the other opposition party has a chance. This is how it's done. This is the nature of politics. It doesn't go away. So I'm just a citizen that have been around this beautiful land for a little while, thanks to the great God, and I'm paying attention. I am on a different aspect of politics these days. My focus and attention, you may hear me speaking about certain things, but my focus and attention, excuse me, is about this country. And I've said it a zillion times. Some may not believe it, but I know my heart, you don't. God and myself. I know my heart, and my heart is saying to me, and it has been saying, that fight for your country. Stand up for your country. This land that gave me birth. One of the other reasons why I have to do this is because of the beautiful woman that brought me to this land, that gave me birth to this land. I never had a chance to thank her, never. I had to hold back. My apologies. My mom left this earth when I was age 3. Never kissed her, never hugged her. Myself and my other brothers. But she was great enough to bring us to this beautiful land. And this is why I have an obligation to speak on behalf of this land, the land of my birth, this beautiful country. This is why I put myself up several times. And I did not go away when I was denied. I did not falter, I did not fold. I continue to speak on behalf of this country. I will continue to do that for as long as I live. Never got in trouble with the law, speak to young people, to let them know how beautiful this land is, and to feel very, 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 very proud about this land. This is the land of our birth. We are killing it. We are killing it with all the drama and the controversy, and we are not even realizing that we are killing it. It is going nowhere. We need to help this place. We need to help it. All right. That's that. And my apologies if I became a little emotional. I mean, I know there's a whole lot of us that we're on this earth and we don't even know our parents. Maybe both of our parents or maybe one of our parents left this earth when we were young. I was one of those kids. So I always give my mom, say hello to her and tell her thank you. And I think all those of us who are in the same situation should do that all the time. All right. So it is indeed Good Friday. What did I do today? We're going up until 10 o'clock. It's a short program, 2 hours. And today I sat home. It's my first outing for the day. I stayed home all day. I never go to work on any Good Friday. 2 days of the year I don't go to work. It's Christmas Day on Good Friday. I think it's a time to stay home and reflect on the great Jesus Christ did for this world, so we could give him thanks for him making the ultimate sacrifice and dying on the cross. There are various denominations that don't see it this way, but this is how I grew up, and this is my belief up to this day. The Ten Commandments I watched again today. I must have seen it in my lifetime maybe 30, if not more times, more than 30 times. And I'm watching it all the time. And every time I watch this movie, there's one thing that comes to mind, us as human beings, ingratitude. We don't appreciate anything. The ingratitude that comes about with human beings is unsurpassed, it's unbelievable. Because what you see in the movie is based on what was written in the Bible. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. And for human beings, I'm saying this just to say, for human beings to not show gratitude. I mean, you've seen the movie. They were in bondage, in slavery, being whipped, work 7 days a week, hard labor. And if they were killed, it didn't mean anything to the pharaohs. It's like you just killed a mosquito. It didn't mean anything. And the great God sent them a deliverer. And they saw the plagues, the miracles, the power of God. They saw it. They witnessed every bit of it. And when they were freed, they were out in the wilderness. God provided them with food and shelter and security. As human beings, I'm talking. When they got to the Red Sea, Pharaoh decided that, you've seen the movie, Pharaoh decided to chase them down. And they were trapped against the sea and Pharaoh's army. Nowhere to go. Great God still provided a level of security and a way out. Open up the seas and let them through. Pharaoh's heart was still hardened, chased them down through the midst of the seas. The great God closed the sea and killed all of the soldiers. Make a long story short. And I'm talking about us human beings. You think they showed gratitude? Although they saw all of those miracles that I don't think we will ever see again. No, we didn't show any miracles. We didn't show any gratitude. Said Moses is not there. He went to the mountains, so he's not coming back, probably dead. So let's forget about who brought us out of slavery. Let's forget about him and then forget to praise him and honor him. And let's build ourselves our own God. Human beings, I'm talking. Where are you going with this? I'm going somewhere with this. I'm just telling you the nature of human beings. When we preach love, love your neighbors, this is just a conversation. This does not exist so much in the world anymore. It has never existed. Never. Our mindset is not about love. Our mindset is about hate 80% of the times. They forgot all what was done. I'm preaching here tonight. Yes, I am. Forgot all of the miracles, all what the great God had done for them. And 40 days they had not seen Moses. They had transformed from the great God that they loved, now on their own. Same thing in today's life. You think today, what we're seeing today is it just got started? No. Human beings have always been bad from inception. And the great God said it in his word that he repented, that he made man. He had to cause the flood. He had to burn down a whole city, Sodom and Gomorrah. Because of us. The animals are not doing anything wrong. The animals are part of this creation. All the animals want is just to eat and drink, just their mere survival. If a lion, a pride of lion is laying on the tree in the shadow and they all filled up, they're full, and a warthog or gazelle passes by, they're not going to even be bothered with it because they're not hungry at the moment. So the gazelle goes on its way, the lion, whatever, until they're hungry again. So the animals of the world, the other species of the world, they are nothing like this. But yet still the great God, because of his love, gave us in charge of this earth, dominion over all things. And we hate his guts. Doing all kinds of things to each other. You can't survive. Champagne Papu Nisa, Champagne Papu Nisa. And because Champagne Gadisa, you play trade. Just because Magadia by Saapa play P. This is not good. This is not good. And you think you're helping your country, you're not doing that. You're hurting it. You're hurting this land. One of these days you will wake up and realize how bad you have done. Anyway, let me just move on to something. So this, I just wanted to bring that out in my preamble because I thought it was necessary to bring that out. But the program is based about positivity and in our beautiful island. So I spoke about one of the positives for me on Wednesday, and that has to do with the appointee or appointed police commissioner, and none other than Mr. Vern Gard. Now, if this was a voting process, he would have had my vote because I spoke about this gentleman. I said there was something about him that I saw earlier clock. From the time he came in a couple of years ago, I said there's something special about this guy. I think this guy is going to be, he's going to be he's going to make a difference. And his contract had ended, and him and another gentleman, I think, was in the run-ins, and I think on Tuesday or Thursday, I think it was, and he got appointed. I think this is a positive from my perspective because I told you how much I feel this gentleman will make a huge difference. Will he be able to do everything? I doubt it. There's no one is perfect. No organization is perfect. But I think this gentleman is certainly going to try. Because the state of affairs in regards to crime and violence in our country, someone has to be the tough one. Not just the top cop, the tough cop. Not the top cop by itself, but the tough cop. And go after people that are trying to help to take this country down. The politics is bad enough, let alone we have criminal elements running around. So this is a double whammy. It's two hurricanes, so to speak. So, Mr. Gard, I am on your side, and I'm watching. Just like I'm watching what's going on in regards to the development of this country, I am watching every bit and every move of Mr. Gard as well. There was some reports regarding there were searches island-wide. The police were out there in Choiseul, I heard, and in Larry Shrewsbury 4 and some parts of Dennery, where ammunition, guns drugs, and every other thing was seized, and there were arrests made. Is that a positive? Absolutely, it is. Because those acts of behaviors is what takes a country down. I'm all for this country. I'm not involved in any illegal activity. I do a fair day's work for a fair day's pay. I think that's the behavior that we all should have. So when people get involved with the illegal acts and they're caught, I'm not feeling sorry for anybody. No, I'm not feeling sorry for anybody. That's up to you. You chose this life. My life is to drive down to the airport and try to make me $1. Your life is to go out on the high seas and traffic drugs. That's your life. Bravo to you, but when you get caught, don't expect me to cry for you. I'm not doing that. So, Mr. Commissioner, again, all I'm asking from you, sir, is to bring about a unit, and I said it this week, and I'm saying it again. Bring about a unit that could monitor our roads. Bring about a unit from your department. I'm not even just talking about the traffic department, because for me, the traffic department, all they do is just investigate accidents. There's no monitoring, no safety on our roads as a result. And not to disregard the inspector in the traffic department. That's not what I'm doing here. I am saying there needs to be a special unit that their jobs is primarily based on the fact that they are out there on the roads of St. Lucia, monitoring, keeping us safe. Road safety is at the lowest level ever. We are out there on our own with drunk drivers, excessive, well, I shouldn't even call them excessive driving. I could say NASCAR drivers, because that's what I see. When they pass me on those roads, in a few seconds, you don't see them anymore, night or day. We can't have that. And then a little later on, you see them crash into a pole or crash into another oncoming vehicle. I believe, Mr. God, you need, please, sir, please, that's from me, because I'm on those roads. Bring about a unit that we could monitor our road and bring about road safety. It is killing our people. There are too many fatal accidents, and not just fatal accidents. That is by itself. What about people that don't die? And they have lost their life in a sense, not that they're dead, but they have lost their mobility. They can't work, they can't walk, they probably lost an eye, their life is over. And what are the charges for the idiot, a drunk driver, or one that's high on drugs, on meth, or one of those other drugs? He's not even charged. His license is not taken away from him, not suspended, not revoked. Police comes, marks, take a marking, take the individual to the hospital. The driver goes scot-free. Tomorrow he's back on meth or alcohol, killing somebody else. That's not supposed to be, my friend. People like myself and the other thousands of drivers that are very cautious on our roads, we're the ones sometimes, God forbid, that gets hurt. If I'm seeing it, the police can see it as well. Guys drive with their Guinness, one hand on the wheel and the Guinness in the other hand, their big joint. Listen to me, your private life is up to you. That's your private life. But when my life is at risk, I have a problem with it. You could smoke all the marijuana you want, that's up to you. It's not me getting lung cancer. But when you're on the road with your high now, and you're not focused, and you're going to come crashing into some other oncoming vehicle, that's where the problem starts. That's the problem for me. And these guys, they don't discriminate because they run into anybody, anything, anywhere. They're not going to say, oh, that's champagne come there. No, they run straight into whoever is coming. I am asking you, sir, Mr. Vernon God, I don't know if you're hearing me. If you're not, someone will probably tell you. Bring about a special unit in the police department that is going to be monitoring our roads, not some roads, all of our roads. Well, the major ones. I don't expect you to put patrol up there in Bellevue or in Carco and those areas. All day you could still patrol. There's nothing wrong with that. But on our major roads, where all the accidents happen. You see, some people may think this is just little stuff. There's no such thing as little stuff. Because until it comes knocking at your door, when you get the phone call, your son or your daughter, which I do have on our roads, you get a call 2 o'clock in the morning or midnight or 10 o'clock. God forbid that your son or your daughter was involved in an accident. Don't even ask if that call is telling you that he may not make it or she may not make it. You're going crazy. And coming to find out it's some idiot that was drunk. Just like the fool that was down on the sandy beach and people saw him drinking and left and crashed into a guy, killing him on the spot. And another 8-year-old son was killed. His dad just took him out for a drive. I think the same Sunday he was supposed to make his first communion, died. And nothing happened to those people. And I heard the Prime Minister a couple of weeks back. And he showed his disgust. And I'm monitoring because I heard the Prime Minister said that people will be charged. There will be an investigation, and if people are found guilty, they will be charged and put in jail if it goes to that extent. You can't just have a country all day, all week is politics, blah, 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 blah. Alan is Pierre, Alan is champagne, and then that's it. Nothing good. No layout. Nothing to put people in check. Even today, Good Friday, when, well, maybe by now bars are open, I'm certainly sure there are people that are already on our roads drunk like a fish. I'm calling on the commissioner because you spent 2 years there, sir. And I liked you. I said I liked you from the first day I heard you and saw you. I didn't know you before. I just used to hear your name. I liked you. For me, you have done well, but not in the Department of Road Safety. You have not scored there. So here's your opportunity because you got appointed the second time to do something for us drivers and pedestrians against the people that drive without due care and attention. They drive drunk, drive, they're on meth, they're on weed, they're on cocaine, they're on all kinds of things messed up in their minds, and they're still behind the wheel. No, sir. If you need the equipment, I know the Prime Minister will be happy to give you whatever you need. Speed guns, patrol cars, whatever you need to crack down on the people that are killing motorists, innocent motorists, loved ones that are losing their family members as a result of idiots on the road. I'm not an idiot on the road because I never speed. Never. And I drive with due care and attention. And if I'm thinking that I'm too tired and I may want to fall asleep, I pull over and I take a 5-minute snooze. That's how I do. That's what I do. Just to avoid crashing into someone, killing someone, or killing myself. This country needs a change. And the change is not only has to come about by the 17 men and women in the House of Parliament. The country does not only belong to them. There are leaders in various departments that could make things better in this land. The police commissioner is one. He's charged with a huge responsibility. He has 1,300 men under his watch, men and women. He's the boss. He was given that authority. And the public now is depending on him for their safety, to protect and serve. That's what it says. You see it written on the vehicles. Why are we not being protected? So the protection has to be only from crime and violence? No. It has to be protected from the roads as well. People are dying there. Senselessly, foolishly. People are dying there. I'm going to be all over this until I could come out here and say, yes, Mr. God has made a huge change in regards to road safety. I'm going to be all over this. And if by next month I'm not seeing anything, I'm going to say something again towards it. And if I'm tired of saying stuff now, then I go on the news now with it. Yeah, I'll take it to the news. Take it to the evening news. And if still nothing is happening, then I go to the Prime Minister. I'd say, Mr. Prime Minister, I think your choice of commissioner, even if I liked him, but he's lacking in that one department, maybe you should take him out. Take him out by removing him from the position. Policing, in my mind, I'm not a police. In my mind, policing is not just to investigate crime. Supposed to be involved with traffic, road safety, crime, domestic violence, all kinds of stuff. It comes under the umbrella of policing. And if there are 1,400 people, I believe there should be various units. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying there's not. I'm saying that unit, traffic department, is not just for me. I'm not seeing something. I'm seeing them on the road when there's an accident. Markings, that's it. But in terms of police patrol and police officers out there on motorcycles and monitoring the roads, I'm not seeing that. And that's a huge problem for our country. I drive down to the airport 38 miles or 40 miles. You don't see one police car on the road. Stretch of road where a lot of nonsense. You know the amount of times I have to save myself from idiots? I can't even tell you how many times. I literally have to stop. There's nowhere to go. And thank God that individual just goes by me like a whistle. Whoosh. You know how many times I have to pull over in the bush sometimes when there's no bush? I just have to stand still, hoping that that individual doesn't come crashing right into me. Excessive speeding. For what reason? They don't know. And then we have a huge volume of taxi drivers on our roads because the majority of the hotels, you know, they're coming from the north. And taxi drivers, they're trying to take the passengers down. And you have idiots like race NASCAR drivers just going past them. No one on the road to monitor these kinds of behavior. Nobody. It is... You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. If you have police presence, and my friend, Brother Babas, we have not spoken in a little while, you know how that goes with politics. But my friend, Brother Babas, who used to be a police inspector, former police inspector on the roads, he says his presence alone, not two, not three, just him, and the roads would be calm. People would be driving in a moderate manner. Why? Because in their minds, Brother Babas is on the road. That was 30, 40 years ago. So if one man could have done that and have a level of behavior on our road, one man, because they're anticipating that he may be somewhere. Drivers I'm talking about, motorists. And they would maintain their speed to a certain level, an appropriate manner. Could you imagine if we have patrol cars monitoring the roads? Could you imagine? And if a police sees a suspicious driver, pulls him over, put the breathalyzer on him if he's over the limit, I was going to say some word, but I'm on radio. Put him in jail. Yeah. Let him sober up, and tomorrow take him to the judge. That's how it's done. Your alcohol level was this amount. They have it here written. So we're taking you to the courts, and the judge will charge you. And if found guilty in a sense where they should send you to the big house, then so be it. Or revoke your license for a couple of months, a year maybe. We cannot have these dangerous people on the roads crashing into innocent people. People are driving with their kids, their family, and here comes a drunk driver just crashing into someone, killing somebody, or No. Crippling an individual? No, my friend. Let's stop all that Alan, and Mr. Pierre, and Pierre, and Pierre all day. And let's put things in place to safeguard our people on our roads. Let's do that. And I'm watching, Mr. Prime Minister, because you said, and you expressed, you demonstrated your disgust. I watched you, I listened to you. You made that statement 2 weeks ago. I'm even counting the date. And if by next month, or next 2 months, I not seeing any changes, I'm going to speak about it again. And then on the news, I made the statement earlier. I'm going to go on the news with this. Because I'm afraid for my life. You wanted me to say it? I say it. I'm afraid for my life. Why? Because of what I see, what I witnessed on that East Coast road. With crazy people, craziness on the East Coast road. People with passengers on board. It's crazy what I see. So let's do something, Mr. Commissioner. You have my vote. It was not a voting process. You were appointed, and I'm happy that you were in the big position, the top cop, but let's be the tough cop. And I'm going to be monitoring you as well, sir, to see how best we could bring about a level of road safety on all the roads of our beautiful country. Okay? So I leave that here for now. All right, it is indeed a beautiful, beautiful Friday night. And I know, well, normally at this time, the Grizzly Street Party would be up and running, boy. It would be hot. But on Good Fridays, no, there's no Grizzly Friday night. There's a lot of respect, you know. We still do have a lot of godly people that still believe in their Christianity, their faith. And I must applaud the governments, and I use the S, for not allowing some of the things that goes on everyday activity. When it comes to Good Friday, a lot of things are shut down, like the sales of alcohol, the opening of bars that sells alcohol, the Grizzly Street Party. I think that is great. That is very commendable on part of the authorities, and that has been this way for a long time. Because some people, we really do believe in our faith and Christianity. This country is supposed to be a Christian nation. So I think it is good that this stays that way. I hope it stays on this way forever. But by now it's 6 o'clock. Some people after 6, they're already in the bars because we love us some alcohol in St. Lucia. Love us some alcohol. So I know some people probably were outside of the shops waiting if they were not on the inside before 6 o'clock. All right, moving on to something else. I saw over there in the Grizzly area where a new basketball court was built with seating capacity. Now that was good. That was good stuff. You see, when you bring about community development, and I'm very strong about community development, it tells me that our tax dollar, maybe not all of it, at least it is going back into the communities. And this is what it's all about. Community by community by community. This is what I always say. If the government would like to, generalize, they have enough money to do things everywhere at the same time, bravo. Bravo. That's great. But I doubt that very much. If I was a prime minister, I'll tell you how I'll do things. So the first year, not to keep any other constituency back, I'd focus on 3 or 4 constituencies at a time. First year, first 2 years, whatever they need in healthcare, infrastructure, lighting, street lights, blah, blah, blah. And we focus on that. And the other 14 constituencies, you may do little major things, little things, but our focus and attention is on 3 constituencies. And whatever is needed in those constituencies, we work in there. In the next 2 years, working on the other 3. Eventually, we will cover all of the 17. Now, maybe some people may not have the patience to wait, but after they see what just happened to the first 3, they will have no problems in waiting. I think this is how it should be done. Community after community after community. So that basketball court I saw over there in the Bonte area, I know the court. It was rehabilitated, very nice markings, great stuff, beautiful. Sitting capacity, and I know the people, constituents up there, they will be happy to be there. That is how you do this. This is how you bring about community development. Just like what we just saw in Marshall. The James Belgrave Court, marked, redone, seating capacity, toilet facility. Then there's a shed there where the Diamond Steel Orchestra, which is an original Carnival steel band, original steel band. And the representative didn't let it die because he too knew about this steel band. I pushed that steel band, Diamond Steel Orchestra, until I got hit by one of the members. I think I was about 7 years old. I tried to be smart by playing like I was pushing the cart. You know, we pushed it up from Carnival, from town, to go back into Diamond Steel area. And I thought I would take a little ride while everybody was pushing. And I got a nice, we used to call it calotte, a real calotte. So that band, the Diamond Steel pan, you're talking this is about 50 years old, if not more. And to see it dying, I think the Prime Minister saved it by building them a steel pan home, so to speak, not a shed, a home. I've not heard any pan played there yet. We are approaching Carnival. So I hope they're going to start off maybe sometime, maybe next week for my liking. And let's teach our youngsters from the Marshall community or the Castries East area to start playing pan because there's a beautiful home they have now. So this is great stuff. So this something that was dying, you have now kept it alive by giving them a home. I don't know if they're waiting for the Prime Minister to buy them some steel pan and stuff. I don't know what that is, but I've not heard any pan played there since. I think some pan should already be playing there. That's just the way I think. So this is what you do in communities, community by community. As opposed to all of the noise and the noise and the noise. I'm not even going to go into the noise of this week because there was a lot of noise this week. And I'm going to reserve that for Monday, God willing, in regards to what was said about the elections and all that. I spoke about it briefly, but I'm going to reserve that for Monday when I do my show on Monday morning. But this country has to move. And the government of the day is the one charged with developing this country. This is why the people voted for the government. Are they going to be doing everything that is expected of the people? I doubt that very much. Are the people expecting them to do everything? Absolutely not. I doubt the people don't believe they'll be able to do everything. But if they could do some things, at least 40%. 40, I say, yes. Because the people in their mind, I know for sure, everything that was put out there in the estimates and what the government has proposed will not be done. It has never been done. Not from Sir John Compton time, not from now it's going to happen. But if at least 40%, and the people could tell that 40% is being done, I feel they'll be a little contented with that. If we could get more 40, 50, 60, 70, great stuff. Great stuff. Because the people know in their mind, in their heart, that this country is not a rich country. They know it. Politicians don't come out saying, oh, we don't have money. They're never going to do that. But you should be upfront with people. Let them know that you cannot do something because politicians believe if they be honest, if they are honest with the people, they may lose votes. But you're dealing with human beings. And I gave you the analogy the other day, the example about your son on a bicycle. If you say to your son, Daddy's going to buy you a bicycle, you did not give him a date, he's going to be ringing it in your ears every week. Daddy, don't forget the bike, don't forget the bike, don't forget the bike. And it's going to start to become an annoyance. But if you say to your son in January, Daddy's going to buy you a bike in June, there's no asking for 6 months. Why? because you have said to your son that in 6 months' time, you're going to buy him a bicycle in June. So you gave him an upfront notice and is much aware that this is what was said. Same thing with the public. The same thing with the general public. And this is why you don't hear the public now making all the noises about what the Prime Minister said about the water and the pipes that are going to be laid down. Because he said this is not going to be a quick fix. It's going to take some time, probably a year, probably 2 years. So when we realize that there's no water, the first thing that hits your mind, you can't watch this, then you fini. As Premier Minister, he said, but if you come out and say to the people, we're going to fix Wasco, is going to make it fix everything, didn't give a date in people's mind tomorrow, Wasco is going to fix the pipes. So this is why politicians get trapped and they don't get elected, because they don't be upfront with the people. You have to be honest with the people. Speak the truth to them. Let them know that what the expectations that they have is not possible at this time. But we could probably do it a little later on. So this is what this Prime Minister is doing for himself, which is good. He's giving people an alertness, letting them know that this will be done at a certain time, not immediately. And everyone could understand it. I was talking to a guy, a friend of mine, what's today? It's Friday, maybe Tuesday, I think it was, say Monday or Tuesday. And he was saying to me, Champagne, you know, everything Mr. Pierre, the Prime Minister, says the public accepts it. They don't even make a fuss with it. There's a few people you hear talking. Why you think that is? I said, well, because they have the confidence in what he says, because he doesn't make promises of a quick fix. He gives you time, tells you it's not going to be done tomorrow. It's going to take some time. So the people already figured out. Just him and I was having a conversation. And he's not a Labour. No, I'm not going to tell you who he is, but he's not a Labour Party supporter. He said, Gasa City Alan ban chance by sa. Say, you got dance on the Alan. I say, well, you have to present yourself in a manner that the people will understand, brother. You don't make it seem as though everything could be done. You have to let people know the truth. And by that, people will understand what you're saying. They may be upset. They may not like what you're saying. They probably don't like the time frame. But at the end of the day, there's nothing they could do, because they have already understood that the man said it's going to take 2 years. And if 2 years shows comes up and nothing happens, then that's another problem. He said, and this is a serious conversation, him and I. Said, but look at St. Jude's. St. Jude's is completed with the construction. It's not commissioned and nobody's seen anything. I said, because the Prime Minister said the hospital is going to take a little while before it's commissioned. It's just the way you present things. He's trying to figure out why is it that the people are not complaining about St. Jude's. I said there was an opening of the St. Jude, the hospital, in the construction level or aspect. The commissioning, the Prime Minister said, is going to take a little while to be commissioned. And whatever conversation was made prior, but this time he said it's going to take a little while. He gave a date. I don't remember if it's 6 months or whatever time, but sometime he said. So people are waiting. Why are they waiting? Because they were given a time frame to work with. This is how you do this. You don't make people believe that you have everything locked down. No, I'm coming back to the bicycle scenario again. You don't tell your son you'll buy him a bike and don't tell him when. Because he's going to be bothering you. He's going to wait up for you. Even when it's past his bedtime. Daddy, what about the bike? Because you didn't tell him when you were going to buy the bike. If you told him in December for Christmas, doesn't matter if we're in January, he has 12 months to go and he's waiting for Christmas. Because you told him, you identified a particular time. This is how it's done. We have 6 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock. We're going up until 10. And this program, I just brought this. I had to bring such a program. I'm going to be getting so much more information as the weeks and months goes by. I'm excited about this program. At the moment, just in the initial stages. This is our fourth week, is it? Friday, third or fourth week. And I know I'm going to be bringing you some information that you will love as the weeks and months and years go by. God, as long as God give me the strength and the energy to be up here, I will try to be up here every Sunday, not this coming Sunday, the next one, to read whatever, to bring guests, to let our people know. I would love to have the Minister of Infrastructure. I've heard him. I listened to all of the members and what their proposals are, what their future plans are for the constituencies in St. Lucia by extension. But I would love to have him here just to give us a breakdown of everything that has to be done regarding that 4-lane road. A lot of people don't know how excited I am about that 4-lane road. It's not just about it's going to be a road that is going to be a little quicker, but it's going to make St. Lucia look more modern. More modern, I say. You know that kind of thing? And when you have a modern road in a country, at least you have a little level of beauty. Let's take a call here. You could also call the program as well. A beautiful good night to you. Happy Easter.
Thank you much. Thank you much.
Yes, sir. How you doing? How was your Easter? How was your Good Friday? You had a lot of penny piece?
Let's imagine Mama, you know, Mama, you know, but Mama, Aqua,
well, Mama, j'ai aqua, mani an neighbor, moi qui m'a dit toi aqua qui était bon temps avec bic. Bon, mes penny piece là, moi devais penny piece mais m'a joindre.
Moi dit peut-être aqua des choses because mine you aqua.
Ou parle de côté Guinée. Moi si sous des monter, sous des descendre Belleville, moi si on gagne aqua.
Moi déjà t'es choisi moi na aqua.
Ou pas joindre aqua choisi?
Moi choisi toujours.
C'est mon oublié manière pour yo oublié manière pour faire choisir à quoi? Peut-être ça. What's going on anyway, brother? How is everything?
Well, everything cool for now. I just tuned in and I heard you were talking about St. Jude's, commissioning of St. Jude's and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I took a drive down south. I say I had to pass on the OG road, OG Labby road, and I can tell you, Mama, that road before when school children going up and down the falling drains, people almost knocking them. The way it was structured and the road was a little narrow once in one or two places.
Oh, you're talking about the sidewalk that was put in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was done a while though. That was done, I think, sometime last year. I remember when that was on the election. Right.
It was ongoing before the election.
Right.
But it is practically all the drains and sidewalks are practically finished now. So all is remaining to do is to mash up the road and overlay, put an asphalt overlay. Yeah,
I remember. Sorry to interject. I remember me being in that area one afternoon after school a couple of years ago. And the kids were all in the street. They were just in the road and a lot of kids. And I was saying to myself, but why is it that they can't put a sidewalk just to myself? Put a sidewalk leading up to the school. And then I was so pleased to see that a sidewalk was put in.
And the man and the rep said he was going to do it and he did it.
Mm-hmm.
But what is so pleasing about it is that the road has become, with the drains, the road has become wider.
Mm-hmm.
And the children are safe now.
Oh, absolutely. What? Let me ask you something though. Let me ask you something in regard, because you drive, you're a motorist, you're on the road, I'm on the road.
Yeah.
Don't you think that we need a special unit to monitor the roads of St. Lucia, my brother?
Let me tell you something. I believe that there is a unit, but it's not functional. 1, 2. The government need to put regulation in place concerning the heavy duty or the 20-ton trucks carrying materials up and down on that road. They people need to pay a tax or not. They people need to pay some tax. Just for example, look on the Garland Road in Babuno. You have Amalco transporting materials there every single day, every moment of the day. Those big trucks. And the trucks are mashing up the road. You understand? If you go to Ghana now, I mean, the government can't even take a chance and say, we're going to repair the road. Huh?
So based on that, then, because heavy vehicles will access the roads. So if heavy vehicles now are damaging the roads, don't you believe that the road should be built in a stronger manner?
No,
because heavy vehicles.
I'll tell you something. With the kind of terrain we have here in St. Lucia, you understand? It will be very close. You know what they call tegwa? Under the roads in St. Lucia, there are a lot of tegwa. And this soil tend to open up when you get wet.
Yeah, but modern technology, I mean, I could understand the 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s, but modern technology, my brother, has given us an advantage where things could be built in a better manner. I was watching some laydown of asphalt, the way they make roads, build roads in Germany, and you'd be surprised to see the different layers of different things that is put down before the actual asphalt comes on that road.
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff, drainage, everything.
Yeah, but you see, there's a thing in St. Lucia. Remember, we are a mountainous area.
Well, we are, but
country, and you just look at volume, and you must also calculate probabilities when it comes to road rehabilitation and road maintenance, because sometimes you have excessive water coming on these roads, and sometimes it's not even permeable. You find those roads, those water. That water finding its way, like going under the road, but not necessarily on top of the road, even through the drain or whatever it is, it goes under the road and it affects the road somehow.
Yeah, well, we might have to take a little visit. We might have to take a nice study, a little feasibility study before we construct the roads, because I just saw, on the East Coast Road over the last couple of years, I've seen so many road sinkings. And you know why those sinkings happen? There are so many little ravines and drains that we are not aware of, that comes from the hillside, and after time, you just see a sinkhole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you find that when you put your base, your sub base, and everything all together, you find after a period of time, sometimes you may build a road up to last up to 40 years. Because every asphalt has a lifespan.
Yeah.
Would you know that?
I do know that.
Asphalt have a lifespan.
Yeah, I mean, with all the heat and the weight, it would melt away at some point.
So sometimes the formula the person may have used to make the asphalt, that formula would be lasting for, particularly Lagan Road. The Lagan Road. It was for a 40-year span.
Right.
Right? And you had the before 2 Denny Road was for 20-year span. But what you find that with excessive water and everything, it just messes everything up. So basically, I mean, time to come, I think they'll find the right remedy for that. The right remedy to build a road. Because at the end of the day, it's a laughing mystery out there.
Well,
especially in the countryside. Imagine in a countryside like Babundu. I won't say countryside. In a constituency like Babundu. Babundu is just trucks and cars and whatever you see. But now everything is 20-ton trucks and you have excavators. Look, the other thing the government have to look at again, the police especially. You have excavators tracking on those roads, damaging those roads. You remember a long time ago, when you put an excavator or a tractor, you used to have tires.
Yeah.
To put on the truck. The first don't use tires anymore, just truck on the road.
Yeah, but that's damaging the road a lot, and I see it all the time.
Damaging the road. Yeah,
but we cannot blame the construction companies for accessing the roads with heavy vehicles, and that is on the part of the authorities to make sure those roads are strong. Do you agree with that or not?
Yeah, I agree. I agree somehow. I agree.
Because you can't tell a construction company, oh, that road is too weak, don't pass there with the truck. Because and they have to access the road.
But the funny thing is, they know that the trucks are doing damage to the road, but yet they will not assist to say, okay, I have an asphalt plant, I have this, I have that, I can get material, I can fix the road. They not even attempt to fix the road.
Well, what needs to be done? What needs to be done, especially with that 4-lane road that is about to be go under construction? There need to be a toll put in to access that road, brother, so you could maintain the road.
Definitely. Definitely. Now,
You-
you're talking about the St. Jude's commissioning
Yeah.
and stuff like that. If I can distinctly remember, the Prime Minister did say that all departments are not going to go into the hospital at that one time. There'll be departments by departments.
Right.
So far, I know there are a number of departments that have gone in. You understand?
Okay.
And all of those departments have been commissioned.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
No, wait a minute. You're saying there? You're saying there are departments that have been commissioned
Oh, yes.
and they're in use.
Yes.
You're saying people there's staff there.
No. When somebody is when they say it is commission,
Right. I
it
mean,
doesn't mean it is in use.
things are
What
put
it
in.
means it is ready to be
Yes.
used.
Right.
You understand? It is ready to be used. So when the patients come in, everything is there just to be used one time. You understand? Because what commissioning is you have to, especially the expensive equipment, you have to try it first and see, if it's working, if it's this, if it's that, it's not working, you have to send it back or recalibrate it, whatever. Because you have to make sure you have to be up on your P's and Q's before you go put any machine on anybody.
I was given a tour of the facility last year. I was given a tour, every department, every area of the facility. And I must tell you, it's ready to accept whatever equipment is supposed to be brought in, even patients. So whatever is missing, the Prime Minister is the only one that could let us know when that entire commissioning is ready. But the hospital in itself, the structure in itself, I was given a tour last year. It is absolutely ready.
Yeah, it is ready. It is ready. The building, that's why it was handed over.
Mm-hmm. It is indeed ready.
It's just a matter of getting everything in order, and then when the actual date comes for patients to move in, then that's it. They just empty the stadium.
It's
also the kitchen is already at the
already
hospital.
Nowadays it's common sense would tell you as a human being. Common sense would tell you as a human being, if you're going to have a brand new hospital or a hospital where new equipment is going to be brought in, that's going to take some time, because I'll tell you why. You have people that has to be trained. You cannot put up machines and just bring in patients that are untrained staff.
Exactly.
That is going to take a while before this thing is up and ready, because you have a lot of different machines, and the modern technology you have today, people must be trained properly.
Trust me, when the committee, it will be over soon, It will be over soon.
What did you say?
I say the commission will be over soon.
Well, let's see how it goes, because you don't want to rush into something and then you go over there and you have problems. So you want to have all machines up and running. Someone comes in with a broken leg, you want to have a proper X-ray reading. You have to have all the various machines reading properly. So that's how it is. So.
And I saw. Remember we said the minister said he put light in some places in Switzerland. You didn't know?
Oh yeah, a place called if I could remember what it called something Mac.
Yeah, Mac. Yeah.
Something Mac.
Today. It is actually solar light too.
Oh wow. Where exactly is that place? In what community? You know the name of the community?
Okay, you see before you get to on your way to Delce. On your way to Delce, when you pass.
Delce is after La Pointe.
Before you get to Delce is before La Pointe. It's just in the corners there.
I know the area very well. There's a place called Industry. There's a place called La Pointe. So I don't know about Tumac, but Tumac I probably know because I know the area very well.
But it's before you get to Industry, before you get to the junction in La Pointe. So
okay.
I think I counted about 8 or 9 of them.
Right.
It's those white poles.
Okay.
The solar light on it. The solar light is bright now.
That's good stuff.
It was really necessary in those back corners there.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that. I didn't believe there was an area in St. Lucia where it's residential that didn't have street lights. I didn't know that. And that was good to hear.
Those areas never have. I'm not like I see even higher up, they've been planting some new poles there for street lamps.
That's great stuff.
Pretty soon that place will be lighted up.
That's great stuff. This is what you see. Our people, they have already understood that some of them will not be millionaires. They know that. The basic things that are needed you have a place called Tumac. Is it Tumac it's called? Tumac.
Yeah.
Okay, so the people live in that area there. They have their homes, but they're trying to get home. It's probably a holy area or a dark area or whatever. And there are no street lights. So you put in a couple of street lights, you know you're going to get a couple of votes. This is how it is, psychologically. But
because when you're going on, you spread these hills and those valleys down there. You need some lighting there.
People want...
You need some serious lighting there.
This is what this is.
And they haven't been lighting there for a while. So those street lamps there. I just hope nobody going to tumble them and steal them.
Basic needs. Politicians should understand that. Some of the people already know they're not going to have a big 4 or 5 bedroom home, but the little one that they have, they want to access it in a manner that is comfortable. So if you give them electricity, if you give them water, you give them accessibility with a road, they are happy with that.
Exactly.
They are happy with that.
That place is almost like a remote, the place where you put the street lights.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of a remote, it's between the two communities.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of remote-like. But the way it is when you're going down that hill there.
Yeah.
Especially when you live where they have the old windmill structure.
I know the area very well. If it's down in the Delta industry area, I know that area very well.
So when you go down that hill, the street light, it's right in the corner there, all the guardrails there.
And I know the people are excited about that. Trust me, I know the people in there are happy about that. Just to see that. So that's probably one of the reasons why Kifo got a lot of votes on that side. Because people understand these kinds of things. If you're doing something for the community, and this is why I continue to stress on community development. This is very, very necessary, brother. Very necessary.
Yeah,
anyway, so well, enjoy what you're doing for Easter, boy. You're going to a Western dance down there? You're spending the weekend?
I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go to...
Great stuff. That's good. Keep it up that way, brother. All right. Have a good weekend, brother. All right, good stuff. All right. Yeah, my brother down there, he said it. Now, we're going to look up a word because we're going to look up a word here because, you know, we don't always just talk stuff. If something comes up, we have to discuss it. And sometimes we go to Google and figure out what the word means. Okay? Because commissioning, a lot of people may not know what this means. And most people know it as something that's ready to open, ready for business, whatever. So we look at it. So it says commissioning is the formal process of authorizing, testing, and equipping a system, facility, or person for service. That's commissioning. You want me to read that again? Okay, I'll read it. Commissioning is the formal process of authorizing, testing, and equipping a system, facility, or person for service. And it goes on to say, in engineering, it verifies the complex system, mechanical, electrical operation correctly before handover, ensuring contractual performance. It also means officially commissioning someone to create work or granting authority. So it has to do with equipment sometimes to verify that the complex system, medical, electrical operations correctly before a handover. So my caller is right, and I was right, and the Prime Minister is right. You don't just put stuff into a building, particularly equipment, especially a hospital. Now, if you're going to commission an office building where you have an executive building where you need to put in cubicles, phones, blah, 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 little stuff, that's a huge difference from a hospital. You're talking about medical equipment and people's lives. That has to be, you have to be very, very particular about how you bring about those things and cautious. Everything has to be up and running. There shouldn't be a fault. These things has to be tried over and over and over again before you actually use it on a patient. Now, am I saying this is why the hospital have not been commissioned? I don't know. I have not been given that information. If I was given that information, I would have said it to you. But I know it's going to take a little while because this is a medical facility that requires a lot of time. Let me read that again for our people that don't know what it means. Commissioning is the formal process of authorizing, testing, and equipping a system, facility, or person for service. And it goes on to read in engineering, in various that complex system, mechanical, electrical operation correctly before handing over. I'm literally walking it with you to let you know what it means. You have to verify that the complex is okay. And not just one verification, not once, not twice. Because you don't want to put in an MRI machine and just test it once. That thing has to be tested several times. So they needs to verify it. That's why it says it verifies that the complex mechanical, electrical operate correctly before handing over. Verify. You have to make sure that it's in working great manner. It has to be functioning every time it's tested. Am I making an excuse for the Prime Minister and the government? Absolutely not. You know why? Because if the government had believed that the hospital was ready to be opened or to be commissioned, it would have been open. You think a government is going to be maliciously holding back people at a complex or building that is not suitable? It has helped us for about 16 years. It certainly has. And I'm speaking of the George Odlum Stadium. It has facilitated the country, especially the people in the South, for all this time. So we can't just downplay it and say, oh, that's a little bit to George Odlum. No. For what it was, it has helped. I know it has saved some lives. People have lost their lives there. So, but you cannot just open up this thing. And I'm not making any excuse. We have to start thinking positively. This is what this show is about. You have to start thinking positively. Why is the hospital not commissioned? You've heard so many stories. Oh, you pay l'argent. But if it was commissioned 2 months ago, and someone goes in there, and that individual or that patient happened to lose their life as a result of malpractice, so to speak, if you want to call it that, or maybe because of negligence on the part of one individual that was not trained properly, or machine was not functional and someone happened to die, what would the story be tomorrow? Another story. Oh, gouvernement mène vieux équipement. Et yo pas point temps pour ouvrir place là, yo fait moun, yo pas même train staff là. I know how people. The staff was not trained properly. They rush it and look, the lady died. I know how people. So the government now is taking their time before commissioning. I didn't get that from any source. Nobody told me this is what's happening. Okay, so I guess my own common sense would tell me to put in all of those machines. I walk the facility. I was given a tour there. Ward by ward, department by department, kitchen, everywhere. I was very happy to be there because there was a lot of conversation that was going around in regards to the facility. And I did not see any faults. I'm not saying there are none. I'm saying I did not witness. The individual that walked with me gave me a ball by ball as we walk. I spent an hour plus there. I have everything on my phone. Conversation, video, everything. Has it taken too much time? You're damn right it has. 2009 to 2026. That's a long time, 16 years. And I've given that a lot of fire. And I've blamed both administrations for the delay. Both of them. Couldn't understand a building would take 16 years to not even the Palm Islands in Dubai that took all that time. Well, maybe. There's a building called the Burj Khalifa, the highest building in the world. It took how many years? I think I read that. Was it 8 years? I think it took to build that. The Empire State Building back there in 1933 took less than 2 years, almost 100 floors, or if not 100 floors. Not a lot of workers. So don't tell me a building takes 16 years with 2 levels. It's insane. Anyway, it is what it is. This is the way. You see, this is why I speak about let's move in this country forward. And if I had such a program back then, 2009, and I was speaking in that light, let's move St. Lucia forward, let's do. I doubt very much St. Jude's would take all that time to be opened. I doubt it very much. So we must learn from St. Jude, and let's not waste time or procrastinate on things, delay stuff. Now, the government brought about a halls of justice. Work construction started last year. I was just down there on Friday especially. I wanted to speak with somebody, but apparently everybody was busy at work, not Friday, on Wednesday. And I took a photograph, especially for the people in the diaspora that have not seen the finished product. And if I may, let me show you what it's going to look like. Where is it? All right, so this is the finished product for the halls of justice. For those of you that are in the diaspora, and you probably have not been to St. Lucia for a little while. So the 2 buildings about the same height, one opposite the other. And I'm hearing there's going to be put in a kind of bridge-like, just like the World Trade Center. You remember the old World Trade Center? They have these buildings all about the place. I've seen them in some countries. You remember the old World Trade Center? There was a bridge going over the road that was leading from one World Trade 5 into the one or whatever. I think there's one of the cars I saw another building in that manner in Puerto Rico where it's joint. So they're doing that. And I spoke with just one guy there on the site, and he said that the old courthouse is going to be transformed into a car park. And I had spoken about that, where we're going to be putting the car park for the staff of the halls of justice, because accommodations will be made, or priorities will be given to the judges and the magistrates and lawyers and the staff. And that would congest Castries even further, way more. So someone that working on the site told me that they're going to be parking exactly where the old courthouse was. You know, the old courthouse right next, opposite the church. So if that is so, then that will help a lot, because judges will be given priority. Oh yeah. You're not even going to be able to park anywhere on the square area. Nowhere in the boulevard if there's not parking for the staff of the Halls of Justice. So once again, this is what the finished product looks like. For those of you who have not been to St. Lucia in a long time, this is what the structures, and I say structures because 2 buildings going up, this is what it's projecting to look like. All right, so I took that photograph of the billboard that was put up just so I could show those of you in the diaspora. So that in itself is way different in terms of the construction than the St. Jude's. That started last year, and I think they're up there already on the 5th floor, and they're working on the other side of the building. I think I'm going to take some photographs next time so I could show you exactly where exactly they are in that regard. But I can tell you a lot of work is going on down there. I gave it my little fire. I gave it some little criticism. I had a difficulty with the contractor. I felt that the contractor was supposed to be a local contractor. But you know what it is. It is what it is. I got word that those kinds of projects, the financier, World Bank, CDB, they're the ones that put this thing out for tender, and then they're the one that comes out with the contractor. And a lot of us didn't know that. So even if it's in your country, you didn't have the money to begin with. So there are bylaws or things that are put in place where you don't have any say. That kind of thing. It's just like you borrowing some money at the bank and you take $50,000 loan, the bank say, okay, this is what you should be paying. Pay $1,500 every month. You cannot tell the bank, no, I'm only paying $500. You're not going to get a loan. You're not going to get a loan, my friend. The bank says, this is what we want at the end of the month. It's going to be deducted from your salary, or you come in to pay this amount. This is what we want. And if you say to them, well, I can't pay that, then you don't have a loan. End of story. I am suggesting this is the same thing that goes on with this kind of big project. What, $200 million, I think, $295 million project. If the World Bank says that, Mr. Prime Minister, we're the ones that are going to bring about the contractor, you have no say. So I gave this a lot of fire because I didn't know the intricacies of how this thing works. When I got word how it works, then I shut my mouth. You don't have a say with this. All right, we have a 9:36. We have another 24 minutes into the program. I'm very happy to be in the studio at the studios of Solid FM. Don't forget, we're a brand new radio station. We're only getting warmed up, boy. There's a lot we have to do up here, and a lot of the stuff we have to do at Solid FM. And we're just happy that we're on, and then people could listen to some of the information that comes out of here. This radio station is primarily based on beautiful things that goes on in our beautiful country. Sometimes we speak a little politics, a little negativity. I am indeed involved with what goes on in this country, so don't hate me if I speak in the manner that I do. Okay? I have no animosity against anybody. I hate no St. Lucian. I love all my beautiful St. Lucian people. I know some don't like my guts. That's okay. That is fine. But me, I have to do what I have to do. If I'm going to bring out information out there, I have to do it objectively. I cannot just not say something if it's affecting our beautiful country. I must speak on it. And this is what I do. We have tomorrow, my brother is going to be here. My brother DJ Eddie is going to bring you something called Saturday Mix, where he plays you a whole lot of beautiful music. And on Sunday as well. So this is what we are, Solid FM, and we hope that you could grow with us, just like you did with Sky. And with Sky FM, you grew with us, and we had a great audience. Well, we probably have lost some. Probably have lost some. No problem with that. But politics is a hell of a thing, I tell you. People love themselves some politics, boy. Partisan politics, not just politics. Partisan politics. They love themselves, their party, and the members of the party. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know I'd ever love a guy so much in politics better than myself. No, all the years I spent, I had appreciated who was there. So John, great human being. But I would not do whatever Sir John asked me to do. No. I love St. Lucia. I love the politics. But I put myself way up there in front of everything else. I've always done that. I think everybody should do that. You have a own responsibility for yourself. You can't love other people better than yourself. It's unbelievable. It's impossible. How could you do that? Because somebody is a political leader, you love them so much, you're going to hate other people as a result. People that you didn't do anything wrong to, but because you want to have your own allegiance with another political party, people hate your guts. Does that make any sense? Doesn't make sense to me. I just know we have to keep our country going, make it beautiful, and support whichever government is in office. If they're rotten, then we know what to do. Yes, it's as simple as that. If you have a government, you elect a government, and they're in office, and you realize that they're rotten, they're not doing what you elected them to do, you don't even have to wait for the 5 years. You could put demands on there and say, listen, we don't want that. It happened in 1982. But halfway through the term, the people of St. Lucia was not having it. You think it was just Sir John Come that caused the election? No, the people were not having it. They were disgusted with what was going on in 1982. And the Governor General had no choice. So if you elect a government and you realize that the government is rotten, they're not doing what you elected them to do, You have that right. It's a democracy. But if they're doing stuff and you're surviving in your land is safe. You have beautiful national security. You have employment. Things are looking good. Why the criticism? I know people will always be people, but why the criticism? If things are looking up, why the criticism? You have to make this country grow. You have to grow it. And not just the 17 members of the House of Parliament. All of us have to be involved. All of us. I have to do my share. And what I'm doing up here, this is just basic in regards to what I would love to do in St. Lucia. This is just basic. I would love to be involved and helping the best I can. Best I can. You too should be start getting involved. The development of your communities. Bring about a community development. Bring about a committee. In every community, get some people, some serious people in the communities, and bring about a committee in your communities and do things to uplift your community. It's the only way we could grow. But if you're going to leave the entire place dirty and filthy and rowdy and waiting for a step program, you will never grow. You will never grow. I'm not saying step program is not important. It's money in people's pocket. But you could use that same step money to do something else. So you clean the community, and when step comes, you let the authorities know, listen, we had already cleaned our community, so now we're looking to build a street or a concrete road in a particular part of our community, so we need the step money. Blah. This is how it's done. I don't know if the people could do that, but they should be able to do it. Community development is key. You can take care of our communities. We have to do it. I drove into AGOT. And no disrespect to the people of AGOT, but you guys need to clean up your place. It's really, really bushy. And I spoke to the young lady there. I dropped something off. I said, but don't you guys have a committee in place? She said, there is a committee. I said, oh, so you're waiting for step. And apparently that's what they're waiting for. So you're going to wait for step every 4 months. And then your place is all bushy and stupid looking. Clean your place up. We could do this. We could do this. I should have some great information for you come next week. I was supposed to have a gentleman calling tonight, but maybe he's still eating a lot of fish cakes and and a penny piece. So we'll probably reserve that for next Sunday. And as we continue this program every Sunday, I want to bring out some information up here to you. I could read stuff. I could present audios, maybe videos. I don't know if you could be watching it on YouTube, because we are on the YouTube channel as well. I want us to love this land. You're not going to be there forever. Believe that. You have a chronic disease these days with strokes. A lot of people I don't know if it's like some plague that's on our land. A lot of people, you've seen a lot of people walking around, they just got a stroke. So we need to find out the causes of stroke. Get people, tell us how the prevention is, what we could do to prevent strokes. I know it's hypertension most of the time, but we have to check our blood levels, our sugar level, blood sugar levels, our pressure. Because when you start talking about Alan, and Pierre, you're working up something and you're just bringing up your blood pressure for what? And when you do get a stroke now, the people that you're making all the noises about, they don't even know if you exist. Can you believe that? All the noises that have been made, calling different radio stations, bringing up their blood pressure, when you do get a stroke, the people that you're making the noises about, they don't know you got a stroke. And even if they did know, you're not going to get a visit. Think about that for a moment. You're having wow. Seulement là, la main famille, tout haï ça, famille ou ken pou point que personne moun nan ou ka babye bay la, personne pas vin wop. This is not smart. I'm not telling you don't get involved in your politics. That's not what I'm saying. But the hatred, the nasty comments, my goodness, there. People say something you need to read. I say I'm not reading a single comment. Let them continue to write as they want. I've been through this thing for 40 years. I'm used to it. I'm immune to it. I'm serious. I am really immune to this. I don't give a damn. So let them type whatever they call me rapist, call me voler, call me whatever they want. I know myself, and the great King Jesus knows this heart. So I don't care about what you write. All I know, you're working up yourself to have a medical condition that's not going to be good for you. But if you continue to do that, as I know some people do, it's going to affect you, my friend. I am up here 5 days a week. 5 days a week. And I'm trying to keep my calm because I know it could affect you by the excessive aggression and pounding. I know what it could do. So you all that when you see a little comment come create champagne, say this, Pierre, ça, Pierre this, Pierre that. For who? Who you doing it for? To be seen? So somebody on the other side will notice your comments and they'll love you because you wrote something nice? They don't know if you exist, my friend. I could tell you that. They don't give a damn. I was not expecting for anybody to love me in politics because I understood what these people are. There must be a certain circle. There is indeed a circle. You're not part of that circle. When you put those comments there and you're thinking they see it, they read it. Say things about Champagne, they're happy to read it. But they don't even give a damn about you. And when they do see you at an event, all you get is a little hug, if you get one. That's sufficient for you. That's what you want? A hug? What about your life? What about doing things for yourself, your children, your family? There were people at Sky, and just before I close, there are people that were associated with me at Sky. They know what the people are saying are lies. They know it. Because certain people have said to me, they see them under the life. And the lies and propaganda that has been leveled at me, they're there under the life. They know the struggles we had at Sky. They know it, the financial struggles. They were deeply involved. We had staff meetings regularly. Everybody was there. They know for sure what the struggles were, the challenges. But they're still going to come out there and say these things that they know in their heart that are untrue. Malicious attacks on me when they know in their hearts what they're saying is false. And the others that were close to me like this are under the live, will never make a comment or type in something and say, you know what you're saying is not the right thing. This never happened. They will not do this because what is just said and what is typed has to take Champagne down. So I'm not going to type something in to say the truth. That's not going to look good for me and the other people. Let Champagne take all his blows. So why are you doing this? For what reason are you going to gain from that? People that were close to me, all those that came, and I try to help the best I can, give them a free hand with all the struggles. They know it. The very people will turn around and say so much. There was one particular individual, the laptop, that I got all the blows for. Her son The laptop was given to her for her son for school. You listening to me? I don't want to come out here and say things that, the same laptop, or maybe one after it, because those laptops got burned, you change them all the time, because we left it on all night and the batteries swell. You think she's going to say, well, what you're all saying is wrong, because Champagne gave me one of the laptops for my son for his school? Think they're going to do that? Why? This is what I told you in my preamble regarding the children of Israel. This is us. This is how we behave as human beings. We have no love. We have no gratitude. We have no sympathy. And I'm not taking myself out of the equation because I'm a human being, but I'm trying my best not to be in that category. Trying to be. Trying. I didn't say I am. I'm saying I'm trying not to put myself in that level. Close people, close ties. Champagne, what we doing today? You have anything there? We get in. You give anything? Come on, come. Come. Very people. They under the lives. They seen what is typed. There's the one they talk about a grill. Somebody said to me, some guy said that I was with the woman with the. Oh my God. Do you know who the woman is? I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. Do you know who the woman is? So you could envision me with that woman? I was with the woman, and the woman is not with me again. So I insulted her so much for a grill. The grill belonged to Sky FM. It was our money that purchased that grill. And I left it alone. Okay? You guys need to change if you want this country to grow. You need to change politically. This partisan stuff, I have been involved with it for a long time. And they say as you grow with age, it's just like wine. The more it stays around, the finer it gets, the better. Fine wine. It matures with age. Now I'm going up there in age. So the things of yesterday, thank God I got the experience and I could speak about them today. And my urge is to teach our people, especially the younger people, to show some love and have some pride in your country. Yes, this is all you got. This is all you have. Have pride in it. And I'm not telling you have to be a Labour Party or UWP. But if you realize that the government is trying, if you realize that you have to pay attention for yourself. You can't just allow people to speak for you and say nonsense and they'll tell you what's not true. Bring about untruths. You as an individual has a responsibility to observe for yourself. Listen to the news, see what's going around you. Be aware of what's going on. And you make a judgment for yourself. And if you realize that the government or the authorities are not doing what they're required to do for yourself and your family, community, then you speak about it and you do something about it. But in turn, if you realize that the government is trying the damn best, a better way of living, you as well should commend them on it. This partisan stuff is not working. It has not worked from Sir John Compton's time, and it still is not working. We are too divided about this partisan politics. You love yourself a political leader, you love a member, you love a minister, you love a candidate, but you forget in your country. And the people you're thinking you're loving so much, they're the only beneficiaries of this country, not you. There's nothing wrong in supporting your party, but love your country. And this is what I will continue to do on this program here. I am supposed to be bringing people to speak to our beautiful citizens. Ask people to come up here and tell us how we could make some money, how we could get ourselves a beautiful home, a family. Not politics. Everything doesn't have to be politics. How to stay married. If you're married, how to stay with your wife or your husband for years and years and years. Not get married this week and divorce in December. These are the kinds of things we want to do up here at Sky, at Solid. So in closing, I just told you earlier that the program will be moved. This is the last Friday. We're going to have this program next Sunday, not Easter Sunday, next Sunday. I will be bringing you this program Sunday nights, St. Lucia on the Move. By that time, I should be getting some more information for you regarding developments. I didn't even speak about the hotel down there at VG. Now there's a back and forth. I mean, we'll speak about that on Monday. There's a back and forth, and I got a history about who owned the land. And boy, I tell you, it's just a total confusion in the minds of our people. Just confusion all the time. Our young people want work, those that want to work, that is. And if a development is supposed to come about, there's always a controversial aspect of it. And then the developers have to wait. And maybe sometimes because of the controversy, they say, you know what, to hell with this shit. I don't want to do this here. I may go somewhere else. Because the politics is killing this place. Killing it. Tell me some developer wants to spend $300 million on a project. That has to we have to lose that. Because one politician says, I don't want it there. And another one says, I don't want it there. And this one says, we're blocking my view. So a $300 million project has to leave the country. You think that is fair? Think that is fair for the people that are expecting to be working there? From the construction aspect to when the hotel is open? That is right. There's a controversy over that. There's a controversy